Alright, hey guys, welcome to Under Review spoiler discussion. This probably won't be a regular thing, but Lane had so much of an issue with Charlotte when I showed it to him that he insisted on being on this.
I mean, okay, so he okay. Years ago, like 6 years ago, I introduced you to Angel Beats.
Yes.
So about 2 weeks ago, not even, he comes up to me and says, "Hey Lane, you know Angel Beats? The same guy just did this new show. It's like 13 episodes long. Let's check it out." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Fuck you.
That's the best part, though.
It was
Because by that point, I'd already watched it once for the review that came out right before this, and I just wanted to watch it again. And since you loved Angel Beats so much, I thought you should watch it.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, so like,
I mean, okay, what about it didn't you like, though? I mean, because you love Angel Beats.
I love Angel Beats. Angel Beats was just this great combination of comedy, emotion. It had great pacing, great storytelling. The artwork was beautiful.
Right.
Some similarities, you know, same artwork, beautiful artwork. Like the second episode, I think I told you, like, I love the eyes.
Oh yeah,
I love like the color of the eyes and their expressions.
The eyes in this creator show are gorgeous and expressive.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Yes, I can give it the soundtrack perfectly, with the exception of that one point where they did the Idols.
Oh yeah, they have like this weird the
music
idol
video right in
What's
the middle.
her name? The idol girl.
Yusa.
Sure.
Yes.
She had like
where
five
they
fucking
did like
names.
where they did like the 2-minute in the middle of the show music video.
Well, it
for
was
her.
right after the dramatic climax.
Yep.
It was right after the best part of the fucking show. And they're like, "Hi!" And it was just in your face and annoying as fuck. And why would they do that?
I don't know. If that is the main issue I had with it, was there were so many points where you would see the similarities to Angel Beats, where it was great emotional growth, great character growth.
And for 3 episodes.
And then all of a sudden, you're going to ruin it for a split second of dopey comedy or bullshit that doesn't deserve to be in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you can't tell, we don't like this show. It could have been better. It should have
It
been
has
better.
so much potential.
It does.
It shows so many things that this creator does so well, and then he ruins it by. It's like he misplaced these parts. He put them in out of order where they should have been. All of the stupid comedy should have been near the beginning, and then middle and end should have been the dramatic growth. Instead, we have good dramatic growth about the middle, but we're gonna splice in dopey comedy that has no place into it, and then we're gonna create, for all intents and purposes, gods out of this bullshit.
Hell, even the most dramatic part, and this is a spoiler discussion, so spoilers, when his sister has died and he's in the depression in his apartment.
Yes.
And his friends come by to visit him like any good friends would.
Right.
And, I'm gonna make a joke about how the idol spilled her soup all over the floor. What's the fucking... That killed that.
That was...
It was so misplaced.
That is like a symbol of what is wrong with the comedy. If we just take it in halves, the first half is decent. I mean, the first half.
The first half by itself is decent.
First half of the first half is not great, but it's livable. I can
especially
live
when
with this.
taken out of context of the whole show.
Yes.
On its own, it's its own little happy, campy anime. I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone, but I don't regret watching the first in context of itself.
Right.
And then you splice in the dramatic climax, which was by far my favorite part of the show.
Yes.
Like, I almost...
Absolutely.
He's famous for making people cry. I almost got teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Like that, it was good.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I didn't cry, but I teared up.
Yeah.
Second time, I could cry over that because you feel for you feel for him.
Yep.
And you can actually see him growing through the series until the second half of the series.
Yeah, and like
And then
I was more forgiving of the second half than you were. Until like the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Where we start going on a world trip to collect
Let's
every
go around the
fucking power.
world. And that whole last episode didn't need to happen.
Oh no.
That could have happened as an epilogue
Absolutely.
that like 2 years later, like the creator
could have just
releases
gone
that.
fly off into the airplane and then black screen 2 years later. I mean, and that even goes towards the end of the final episode where you and I were both watching that as what's her name? Tomori was sitting next to him in bed after they recovered.
That was bullshit. That sitting next to him, we shouldn't. Okay,
we
'cause,
both were just like we were basically.
I ran out of fucks to give.
Miming what was going to happen because it was so predictable.
We paused the
stupid.
episode like 5 times.
Yes,
We did. Like in between, I was like, pause. You know this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like over and over again.
It was so predictable,
Like-
and that is not what he does.
Because-
while his storyline might be predictable as a whole,
Yeah.
he knows how to surprise you in parts of it.
Yeah, which was beautiful with that huge dramatic arc that we love, where he's going through depression, then Tamori comes in, pulls him out of the depression, and it's just this wonderful character development where they bond.
Yeah.
And it's this beautiful thing, and then he travels back in time, and you expect that to still be there. It's a waste of our emotions and
Yeah.
time.
I love time travel when it's done right.
Steins
This
Gate,
is
fucking
not done right.
No.
This is a giant, just a giant cop out.
Well, like I was more forgiving of it than you were, but
I mean, all that character development you gains through his sister's death and Tamori bonding with him is erased.
you can tell how pissed we are right now. Like, especially like I'm more like because I just watched it one time. He's had time to process it.
I mean, I wouldn't be as upset about it if he hadn't the creator of this show hadn't set expectations so high in the past.
Well, when you have a portfolio, a successful portfolio like that, and you have made a name for yourself for excellent storytelling,
You have a high standard to live to.
absolutely,
It would be
it's like having Bungie make Halo, and then Destiny comes out.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean-
it is. Destiny's not a bad
I mean,
game.
some people are going to look at this like, well, you can't criticize Charlotte versus Angel Beats.
We're
And
not
I look
criticizing Charlotte.
I look at it
we
this
are.
way, though, as look at Psy and Gangnam Style. Every song he does after that is compared to Gangnam Style because of how great that one song was.
Mm-hmm.
That is what this is. Angel Beats, Clannad was so good that they're inevitably, and Charlotte is going to inevitably be compared to this.
Yeah, and that's on the creator. We're doing two things here. We're judging the show when we bitch about the show, and then when it's things like you can't judge the show based off these other ones, that's not the show we're judging, it's the creator.
Yes.
It's not judging just what the fuck, dude.
There were so many missteps.
Yes.
That is the issue. The show as a whole is not bad. If you had never seen Angel Beats, you might have enjoyed this show more, and then have Angel Beats as a follow-up to it.
You know, so like had I not seen Angel Beats first and I watched Charlotte first,
Uh-huh.
you're right, I would have liked it more, but I still would have thought it was stupid. It was still very misplaced, like you
Yes.
said. It wasn't paced very well. The story was all over the place, and their idea of comic relief was, it didn't match the theme of the show. And it really played with your emotions, and it was just really hard to keep concentrated and to have a connection with the characters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the characters are by far the weakest part of the show.
Absolutely.
I mean, outside of you and Tamori, can you name any other character?
No.
No. I had difficulty doing that.
The fangirl of the idol, the worst part of the show.
Absolutely.
Worst part of the show.
He has no personality.
He has no personality, no character development. He brings shitty comic relief. I thought I was gonna like him. I thought he was going
Initially, he comes off as someone you might like.
Yeah, like with the tone of the show that they were bringing along. It
And
felt
then,
like he was.
then
gonna be a
you
good
bring
fit.
in Yusa, and he is destroyed as a character.
Like there's one part where you and Tamori have to go to Yu's house to check on his sister because she might have
Right.
powers, and thankfully they literally kick him out a window because he did not need to be there.
No.
At all.
I mean, the characters could recognize that he doesn't need to be there.
The characters, the creators of the show recognize that. Come on.
What did you like about it, at least?
Like I said, I love the art. I love the soundtrack, especially one of my favorite characters actually was the lead singer of that band.
Oh yes,
Like she was one of my favorite characters because she brought so much closure.
because
She was kind of a
that was
Deus
at
Ex Machina
that
character.
was the end of the dramatic area where
Yes.
where it was starting to turn silly, but they wanted to try and keep a serious feel to it.
But you see, that
and
was-
she brought a glue to it to make
Yes.
it stay serious.
And her comedy, while very silly, was
it didn't feel out
fit.
of character,
It didn't.
out of place.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't fit out of character, which exactly that's a huge thing, and it actually matched the tone of the show. Like it matched the same sort of comedy as Angel Beats.
Yes.
which was amazing. And so she was one of my favorite characters. She had definitely brought a closure.
And when at the end of that part of the series, that's when it goes downhill
Yeah,
again.
fuck. Like everyone's an X-Men. and fucking you gotta go. It's okay. So it's essentially it's a redone plot of X3.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
When they finally reveal the past, where they were in the Powers Institute, I mean, for fuck's sake, they are letting people wander around that they know have potentially dangerous powers while locking up other people who have potentially dangerous powers. Okay, in the Institute, it's like, okay, they're gonna get this plan to break out. Did this guy pass you any notes? No.
Oh yeah. So it's the scene where
Fucking God.
The long-haired detector dude comes up and hands you this coordinate, like here's where your brother is, or some shit like that. Oh no, here's where the telepath is.
Yeah.
And then the guards escort him out, and then they come question you with a gun at his fucking head. Did he give you anything?
No.
No. That wasn't how it was. It was straight. No. Like, guard here. No, he didn't.
I mean,
okay.
Come on. Prisoners get strip searched for less than that. And you're already suspecting him of having something. Pull his dumb ass out and strip search him. You already don't give these kids any human rights as it is, so what's the problem with this?
Fucking A. So, what did you think, despite the power, what did you think of the brother character? He was supposed to be the Professor X of the show. I relate this to X-Men so much.
He wasn't given enough time to be a character.
He could have been a really cool character, I think.
If he was introduced before the 3/4 point in the show, he might have been something. But for fuck's sake, come on. You introduced the Ex Machina of Ex Machinas 3/4 of the way through the show and expect me to get attached to him.
You said there were a lot of missteps. And it has so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you go back in time and fix it? What could have been changed where? Besides the obvious, like, oh, don't make the glasses dude freak out in front of the door because her soup spilled. I would pay $1 million yen to taste her soup. Fuck off. I'm not talking that shit. Fundamentally, you didn't care about this student council bullshit.
Give me better characters, better time management. Because time travel doesn't need to be introduced near the end of the show. That should be something introduced near the beginning.
At least in hints.
Yes.
Every 2 or 3 episodes you need to allude
hinted at where they kept saying, who is this? Yeah, I'm having a flashback of who is this guy. I feel like we have a brother.
Yeah,
it's hinted at, but the brother is hinted at. The time travel is not.
Exactly.
And the time travel should have just been used better.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been used to undo the most important part of the series. That was the biggest misstep of the show. And as much as I wanted Ayumi alive, the little sister alive, doing so, though, destroys every bit of tension, every bit of
character development
and love that was shown to the series at that point.
His recovering from his depression means nothing. His love for Tamori means nothing. Him and Tamori having a relationship at the very end of the show, and him sitting next to his bed being so happy that he kept his translator notebook, means nothing. And
Because
that's
she
literally the
doesn't know.
final scene of the
Yeah.
show.
She doesn't know anything about what she did to help him.
Oh, you kept my notebook after all these years.
She
Don't
fell
play
in
that.
love with him for what? Taking her power at that point?
There is no reason for him to love him. Or for her to love him. There is no reason. And it cheats the audience out of the 3 episodes of near gold you gave
Yes.
them. I mean, for the first 3-4 episodes, I think it was about right before the 4th episode started. I'm sitting kind of crooked in my chair, and Tyler pauses it because I have to get a drink or something. And I can't remember exactly how it started. Oh, that's how it started. Our dramatic shift happens. The sister dies. And I look at Tyler and I say, that needed to happen.
Okay, so out of everyone that's watched the review, you know that because of all of it we've talked about right now, I gave it a 6 out of 10. What would you give it? I mean, it's not horrible. It's watchable, though, as a base series.
Okay.
Something that you watch early in your anime time.
I try to give as fair of a scale as I can.
Right.
And I always go out of 10 because I feel like that gives so much more of a
Yeah.
margin. You gave it a 6?
Yes. What are you looking at? 4?
No.
3?
Because there were... I loved the music and the artwork were astounding.
Yes.
I did care about you and Tamori
To a point.
for about half the show.
No one else.
For about half the show. The fact that you and I didn't always agree was kind of nice. We got to be able to have a discussion about it. Granted, it looks like he and I are just shitting on it the whole time. We talked a lot during
We don't
the show.
hate it.
No.
I like it, but I don't love it.
I wouldn't say I like it.
Because my scale of 10 is always based on rewatchability, because that's a
Yeah.
huge thing for me.
Yeah. Which explains why you give it a 6, because you've obviously seen it twice.
1 through 4 is barely, if at all, worth watching once. 5 and 6 is worth one watch, maybe 2. 7 worth at least 2. 8, 9, 10, keep watching them.
Yes. Okay, in context of that, I'm thinking I'm giving it a 5.5.
Okay.
Because it's not quite a 6, it's not quite as bad as a 5, it's definitely not good enough to be in the positive range of a
I mean,
6.
it's worth one single watch.
I would not recommend this show.
No. If
I
someone were asking me for a good emotional show,
Easy.
this is like 7, 8, 9, 10 on the list down of shows that I would recommend off the top of my head.
Yeah, like the only show I would ever even consider telling, the only type of people I would ever even consider telling Charlotte about, or whatever, you know what I mean, are people who have seen Clannad and Angel Beats. And I would only do it under the context of, okay, you guys have seen this, I know you like it because they're amazing fucking shows. I need to do an experiment with you, okay? And I wouldn't watch it with them. It would be like a book club. You know,
Yeah.
you have them watch it and then you congregate to talk about it afterwards.
It's like, okay, if someone comes up to you, hey, what did you think about Charlotte? It's like,
It's that expression. It's that exact expression. It's just
I
like,
mean-
what's Charlotte? All right, 5 out of 5, 6 out of 5.5 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
yeah.
I wouldn't recommend this show unless you've already seen other works by this creator. Tyler's a dick. So
I'm a dick.
you made me watch it. I'm just kidding.
Well.
I love you.
Anyway, guys, that is your spoiler discussion. If anything else comes up that he wants to bitch about, we'll probably do another one.
Oh, well, depends on if we watch any other shows.
Oh, we probably will.
Okay, so
All right, guys, we'll see you again next time on the next Under Review.
bye-bye.